So much. We're speaking to Tsepo Tsimane. He's the CEO of eTV Advisors. He is our market commentator for this morning. According to research, South African companies spend most of their budgets on labor. Low productivity levels hamper workflow and efficiency. Now, a simulation training program for staff efficiency was introduced, and Jan Pelser from Business Today, he's the director there, joins us to talk about how this will work. Thanks so much, Jan, for making time this morning. Just looking at the labor market and the elements that play around the conditions of employment, what the expectations are from the employee, and what the business can offer. I mean, these are very complicated relationships.
Yes, most businesses have got the decisions they make about the people they employ are crucial to the outcome of the performance of those people. And in our simulation training, we really try and show the people involved how they must go about in making sure their consequences have got a bottom line effect. In other words, when they make a decision, it has always got something to do with a risk to the return that company is going to achieve.
And at which level do you engage, or does this training start taking effect?
Our training, we can go through from a shop floor right to senior management. And it's all about, as you say, the simulation training. And what we do is we allow people through experiential learning to discover what a business is all about. So really our business is about business.
Okay.
And what we try and do is show people how their role in the business affects the bottom line of the business.
Now, you don't necessarily recreate the work environment. In other words, if it were typically for eTV, you wouldn't recreate another set for Sunrise, but you would create a similar environment where the person would then be tested on their capacity and deliverables.
Yes. Most of our learning methodologies are board-based, so that we show people on a board how their business works. And it's a whole value chain. In other words, we will show them how the decision they make has impacted on the business. And what we try and do is get group interactivity, so that we show how the whole cross-functionality of staff, how it all goes together. And if you've got one person going the wrong direction, you've got somebody out of tune and not dancing to the same tune the rest of the company is.
But it actually allows the employee to take responsibility for their own actions, and that if they understand that they're part of a value chain, and if there's and they're the weakest link in that, they could be held accountable or liable for that.
Yes, and they also understand the impact of their actions in the business. And that's what we're all about, because the simulation, we go through various cycles, so we allow them to have a second chance at this. And it's great with a lot of our management that have been promoted and the whole BE aspect, to get people more in tune of what you need to do to run a successful business.
Yeah, because some companies might say, look, with this whole perpetual training and chronic training of staff, you can't see the value add or the return on investment. I mean, how do you measure that a certain training program is successful?
You see, that's the big thing, and we really focused on the bottom line, because, and the way we build the simulations, we actually look at the value drivers of a company, and we actually say to the people in the company, the key decision makers, what makes your company successful? And we build those effects into the simulation. So from big steel manufacturing companies through to IT companies, through to schools, through to just normal, and really if you can have a look at how the people impact on business.
Yeah.
It's really crucial that they understand how to run a successful business.
All right, so you would typically do skills audits, internal audits, external audits, that kind of thing, a couple of interviews, compile that, and then give a diagnosis of what the problem is.
Yes, we would, with the key decision makers in the business, we would build a simulation that's customized to the business. So in other words, they can have a look, and we're not trying to teach them their business, but we can really help them improve on how they manage that business. We look at the whole processes. We look at the whole cash conversion cycle. In other words, how quickly can they take cash that they inject into the business and turn it back to cash, build it, so in other words, spend it on raw materials, process it, sell it, collect it from their debtors, and bring it back into the business again.
All right. So you're saying that even getting the buy-in or getting employees motivated doesn't necessarily have to do with an increase in their wages or flexi hours or any other incentive. If they buy into or see their contribution in the company, that's also a factor that could motivate them.
Cindy, you're so right there, because if you have a look at business today, so many of the companies we deal with haven't got the best salaries, haven't got the best working conditions. But the way they manage their people, and the people understand what they need from the business. And that's the whole rapport building side of the business. You know, there they actually realize that they are an integral part of the business. And that belonging makes them a more successful business.
I know you're present in a number of countries. You've been around for 28 years. But looking at our unique needs and circumstances in South Africa, how do we compare in terms of productivity with our counterparts internationally?
Yes, we've got 29 agencies across the world, and the South African person has got not such a strong specific knowledge, but he's got a very broad business knowledge of cross-functional disciplines. In other words, he can do various jobs a lot better than most of our counterparts worldwide, and that's
and
why
yet we don't specialize.
We don't specialize, and that's when we do go and we lose a lot of our people to other countries. Those people are sought after, because when they do get there, they've got a fairly good overview of what makes a business successful.
Okay, Jan, we're going to leave it there, but thanks so much for your time this morning. We're speaking to Jan Pelser, a director at Business Today, on the simulation training that's helped companies get the best out of their staff. And if you'd like to get more information, you can go to sunrise@etv.co.za and just click on that link. For now, though, we take a quick ad break. We'll see you on the other side.